Hey guys, I'm in my PJs here this evening. Good evening, it's Mike with Professional Security Journal. I essentially want to talk about building duty belts, and if you're like me who's qualified to carry a firearm, but you sometimes work unarmed, more or less the importance of having multiple belts. Because, and I'm gonna go grab my duty belt. I'll still talk, but mind you, I won't be on camera here. The thing about it is, yes, you have the Safariland QLS system, blah 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 blah, but you don't have what you will still have if you QLS your weapon off your belt is you're still gonna have the holster paddle. So you're gonna have the receiver on the. mm, I mean, I have nailing gear, but still, you're gonna have the receiver. You're gonna have the belt loop part still on your holster with the QLS receiver, and your holster assembly will obviously be completely off your duty belt. That, along with your magazines, unless you either are a really, unless you're a really weird person, I've done this, to where you'll get another Safariland belt loop and you will QLS your mags to that. That way you can just and take both of your firearm related equipment off your holster and what I call the ancillary equipment, the support equipment for your lethal. You're going to QLS your mags off. So I've come to realize whenever I do unarmed details, unarmed assignments, i.e., I worked a wedding like 2 weeks ago or whatever. Um, I made a video either yesterday or the day prior about my EDC and why I carry less lethal. Well, when I did that wedding detail, I had my baton and I had that OC, and that was it. Now, me personally, would I feel better having a taser? Yeah. But at the same time, in that context, in that specific circumstance, I was doing a wedding. I would want to conceal carry a taser. You will not do that with a professional model. This is one of the only times I would say a pulse or the actual civilian model, the Bolt 2, the small white square that Taser's now selling. Um, this is the only time I'd say a pulse or a bolt will be fine for security work if you're doing low vis and you're flat out concealed carrying it. Because now I got to go grab the taser, even though my entire freaking duty belt's in my lap. Now I got to grab my taser because I'm in the background here. This little organizer thing that I have in my room. My taser's on the shelf because I have taken my taser out of service due to the fact that all of my cartridges, all of my ammo for my taser has expired. The reason why I grabbed it though is I have an X26E. I have the older law enforcement model. I call it the dumb taser. This is before the X26P. This is before they started getting smart with all the dockable features and what have you. I have the dumb taser. The only time that I would say as an instructor, uh, having those civilian models on duty is when you're CCWing the taser. Check your local regulations. I have a spreadsheet. I made a spreadsheet and I did a deep dive of the entire United States. I have a 50 state spreadsheet. Some states in the US require you to either A, have a CCW permit in order to own, possess, and use a taser. You must have your concealed carry weapons permit. You have to have your firearms permit. Or you have to have an actual taser endorsement on your security license. So, like how California with BSIS, and this is what cracks me up about California. Go fig. Things crack me up about California. Go fig. They regulate batons and OC. This is the only thing they don't regulate as far as less lethal. This is the only less lethal implement that they don't regulate. Now, My head is, yeah, I don't think they regulate tasers because they don't expect everybody to be able to fork over 2,000 fucking dollars for the actual law enforcement taser. That's why this one content creator who I have had issues with in the past, and I honestly can't stand him. He carries a pulse because of that reason. And I get it. But if you want to carry a taser, that's the price you got to pay, especially if you're in private security, outside the waistband, open carrying a taser either on your duty belt or on your vest. You should have the law enforcement model. So I will not CCW this. Now I'm going to put it back in the holster since I've been playing with it this entire time, which is something you shouldn't be doing because I tell people treat tasers like a deadly weapon. I would not be playing with a live firearm. So let me put this away now that I've said that. Now that I've basically brought this out for context, I would not CCW this. If I'm doing low vis work or I don't want anybody to know I'm carrying a taser, those are the only two circumstances in private security where I could see, yeah, okay, you can get away with having a civilian model, the pulse or the Bolt 2. Otherwise, if you're if it's on your duty belt or on your vest, professional model, X26P, X1, the X2, or the Taser 7 or 7CQ. If you're not lucky enough like me, or you're a law enforcement instructor, and therefore you can get the you can get the fence staff because I can get a full Taser 7. Caveat to that. That's why everybody should become an instructor. A, for the advanced knowledge, professional development that knowledge will bring you. You actually know what you're doing. But also because, when you're a TASE instructor, when you're an Axon instructor, when you're a law enforcement instructor, you can't get the good stuff. I can log into the law enforcement database. I can log into Axon and buy a full-blown LE. I can buy the full-blown LE models. I can get the restricted products as a public safety instructor, as an Axon instructor. Not a Taser instructor. There's a difference. We've beaten that horse to death on YouTube, though, between me and Sean, both. Well, I beat into it enough, and now Sean's finally starting to. But yeah. So duty belt. So yeah. Um, yeah. Guard card. Guard card goes on my phone case, which is a high speed gear, iTaco, handcuff, baton. Baton is a Peacekeeper RCB, very solid, very stout. I'm an ASP instructor, but sorry, ASP, I I love my RCB so much better than an ASP. But yeah, so I have an alien gear for my SIG P320, but you'll you'll QLS the holster off the belt, and then I'll come over here to my flashlight, my HL 5X, my big boy, my cuffs, my OC, my HL my HL1X is by my OC. So my smaller light, HL1X, HLX, and then my mags are by my other buckle. I basically just did a quick down and dirty my entire duty belt. Um, so now I'm going to transition into why I wanted to make this video in the first place. And then you'll see me drop to the corner. Hi. So I have been basically building duty belts through a spreadsheet for the last week and a half, closer to 2 weeks now. And what you'll see is I am building a specific duty belt for mobile patrol. I'm building a duty belt for vehicle work. I'm building a hard belt, which is basically the belt I just showed y'all. That's my Kydex belt. Nothing but Kydex goes on that belt. That's my hard belt. That belt's going to be for when I work flat out armed posts. When I am assigned to armed details, I'll wear my full Kydex, my hard belt. Regular security, quick pop-up work, I'm going to be making a leather duty belt. Outside of the vehicle work, I'm making another black leather duty belt. And then for those unarmed details, I'm making a brown leather duty belt to differentiate. This is my armed shit. I got 3 belts that are basically going to be for armed work. The black is going to be for armed. Brown is going to be the unarmed belt. So when I'm at like I said, when I work weddings or whatever, when I do these little like one night unarmed events or whatever, I have a dedicated belt for that. So, Mike, what goes on your duty belt? Well, I'm left-handed, so I go left to right, even though that's typically what people do anyways. But left buckle to right buckle, I typically have a key keeper or a key silencer. They're used interchangeably. I got one of those on my pep belt. I typically have a phone pouch, like I said. That belt currently has a High Speed Gear International iTaco on it. Love the fuck out of that thing, but I want full Kydex, and I actually found. I know I'm going cringy here. I actually found a Kydex phone pouch, but you have to send the phone. You have to send the phone case that your phone's in to them. So you come over here. I have a mouse, an MOUS. I have a mouse Infinity clear case for my iPhone. Because my iPhone's green and I wanted to show off my green. I put my iPhone 13 Pro Max in a clear case. That way, you can still see the green. Because I got a color I want. I want to show that color. Otherwise, why did I get a specific iPhone color? If I didn't give a shit about it, I'd just get like a black iPhone or whatever. But no. So I've known about mouse for a couple of years, so I got that for my phone. But I digress. See, I need to get another case basically to send to Ethos Survival, which is a law enforcement brand that I actually came across on Etsy, but they do a Kydex phone case. So I'm gonna get another mouse Infinity, and I'm gonna send that to them, and they're gonna make me a Kydex phone pouch for my hard belt. Um, yeah, so because obviously it's Kydex, they have to mold it to you, mold it specifically for you for your phone. So there's that. You're gonna come over here. Now we're in handcuff. I don't do double handcuff pouches, especially with asps. I typically carry asp handcuffs on duty, and the only double pouches that I'm aware of for asps are 09 and Ethos handcuff cases, but they stick out like a mother. So I do single cuff on either side of my belt. I just gave you guys a quick down and dirty of my belt. Y'all saw that. I keep my belt flat. Pardon me, drinking. So you'll come over here. I have a couple of cuff options: Stallion leather, Don Hume leather, Boston leather, Acre concealment. Now, there's a very specific reason why I was doing these brands and these brands only, because I'll come over here to this note that I had. I had a list of like every single law enforcement brand. Excuse me. I had a list of every single brand that I know that caters to law enforcement, but a lot of them when I was doing my research, they would like, oh, they do handcuffs, but they don't do mags. Okay, well that's out. If I'm buying from one company, I want them to I want them to be able to hit all the boxes that I'm doing. And at the same time, I wanted the company to have both brown and black, which further eliminated a lot of things out. So these were the brands that basically survived more or less: Stallion, Don Hume, Acre, and Mean Gene Leather. Now, this is a brand that I want to bring to people's attention. Mean Gene Leather. Where is his Gene behind Mean Gene Leather? Gene actually stood up High Speed Gear. So the brainchild behind HSGI actually departed the company, and he's now doing his own thing at Mean Gene Leather. Um, he makes a handcuff pouch for asps, and I'm really thinking about getting that for my belts. But I digress. Just want to bring that brand to people's attentions. Mean Gene Leather for your leather goods. He does a mag pouch, and it's funny because on his mag pouch slash utility pouch, he flat out says, I invented retention pouches. High Speed Gear did shit for the Marines, and that's how the whole retention pouch craze started, so to speak. Gene 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 made retention. Gene started that. So I digress. So yeah, I've got Mean Gene. Uh, I've got Mean Gene cuff pouch for my leather needs. That's probably going to be what I go with. Baton. I'm Peacekeeper at this point, guys. There's only really two, three, four brands that are like big in law enforcement, and public safety by extension, security. ASP, Peacekeeper with the RCB, Monadnock. I always fuck that up, and then Benoe. And if anybody's aware of any brands that I'm not aware of, please put them in the comments because I love learning. And then yeah, you got your Smith and Wesson batons. B&T, who's actually known for their firearms, B&T actually makes batons too. But for the most part, those are the big four: ASP, Peacekeeper, Monadnock, and then yeah, the other one that my brain just. But the fourth one I named off. Oh, Benelli. I'm sorry. Yeah, those are the four that I'm like aware of that are big. So within this duty belt spreadsheet, but skipping beyond the baton, lethal. Again, it's going to depend on the weapon. Now, you'll come over here to my vehicle belt. You'll notice I'm going tiny. Um, I got that P320 that I've been carrying for armed security work. I got that P320 to go with my Flux Raider because the Flux Raider is a 320 chassis, and my I have SBR my Flux, and I do have the tax stamp. I went through it proper. Um, no slight to those who no slight to those who do what I won't say on camera, but I I wasn't gonna chance that because I wanted to use the Flux for work and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I got the Raider, or excuse me, I got the P320 that sits in my holster there to go with the Raider. So I had cross mat compatibility because they're both 320s basically. Um, but my holster's digging into me in the vehicle when I do mobile patrols, so I'm actually going tiny, and I'm getting the Safariland Solus ALS holster for the Glock 48 and 43X because I'm going to be flexing my Glock 48 when I get my 48 replaced finally. Um, I'm going to be flexing the Glock 48 into a duty roll because the 48 is basically a thin, slim line Glock 19. Those comparisons are by barrel length. Yes, the 48 and 43X are built on the same frame, but by barrel length, the comparison can be made. A Glock 48 is a thin 19, a 43X is a thin 26, respectively. So I'm going to be getting the Solus retention holster for my Glock 48, and that's going to basically serve as my Glock 19 when I'm in the patrol. When I'm in the patrol unit. So then we come over here to my Streamlight 5X, my big boy light. For leather, it's going to be Boston. For Streamlight, or excuse me, for the Kydex hard belt, it's going to be 09. Cuff times 1. I have it as TBD here because I didn't want to just cut paste all of this crap across the same cells. So leather cuff, it's all this. OC spray. I use closed hot pepper spray. I have asthma. Need I say more? Now, one product that has me so excited I found is a baton pouch made by Golden Goodrich, which is known, they're big for their leather. I actually found an active retention pepper spray holster. So I was like, holy shit. So that's like all of my black, my Kydex, my leather, everything. Everything black, it's getting that OC retention pouch. Um, moving on down the line, Boston leather for Streamlight HLX. I call it my 1X. Boston leather for black leather, 09 for the hard belt. For my ammo, for the black leather, it's going to be Safariland due to the fact they have that faux leather synthetic stuff. Faux being fake, FAUX. Safari, I'm going for with the black leather for their faux leather synthetic ammo pouches. For my hard belt, straight 09. And then you'll come over here. Because the Glock 43X does not have a ammo pouch, yes, I could go Safariland, but because the fact that I'm not sure how things are going to look on brown leather, um, I have all of these. So I need to figure out what's going to go with what as far as leather goes, and then do that. I like my magazines. Let me pull a mag off my belt. I'm pulling the middle one because that's just where my fingers went. I like my magazines bullets out as opposed to the traditional bullets flat. If you ever go on Zero Nine's website, they basically say it like that: bullets out, LAO style versus traditional with them being flat. I like bullets out. I like them vertical, not horizontal. I like my mags vertical, bullets out. It feels more natural to me. But I just literally threw the mag basically on the floor. It's funny. I rotated it and then I just threw the mag. Yeah, I like my mags bullets out. It feels more natural to me, but because I like bullets out, that limits me to like very few pouches on the market. So when I was looking for a brown pouch bullets out for my stuff, you won't find it. You won't find brown bullets out for pouches. So I'm gonna have to go leather for that, and I'm gonna have to go flat. So these are the brands, basically, like I was saying, who goes with what? Stallion, Don Hume, Acre, da 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 da, who had brown and black. Um, and those are the brands that survived my torture test, so to speak. Now we'll come over here. These are the things that I want to add to my duty belt. I want to add a taser. I have the X26 there, yes, but at the same time, I want to move away from the Blackhawk holster. So, yeah, Stallion is for leather. Multi tool. Stallion leather's got like four, five, six different multi tool pouches. Um, Again, I'm going leather here, so that's just that's what we're going with for leather. So multi tool Stallion. For my body cam, I'm getting a very specific model of body cam for person that I'm purchasing for myself as a private security officer. Um, my my body cam case is coming from Zero Nine. I'm getting a door stopper. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, so I'll pull this up actually to bring to people's attentions. There are door stoppers you can get that exist out there on the market. Um, this is called the Door Jam. It's made by, well, Door Jam is the brand actually, so that's their thing. It's a door it's a door stopper. So if, say you're a police officer and medical's coming, you can throw that on the door, and it makes so the door doesn't secure on latch. But Zero Nine also makes the holder for Door Jam, and that's why I'm adding a Door Jam to my stuff is because Zero Nine makes the case. So that's going in my cache of stuff that's coming with me to work. Now for the vest, when I get my bulletproof vest, when I get my bullet resistant, whatever, when I get my body armor, fuck it, when I get my body armor for Bridge Warding, this is what happens when you know a lot. It's just I don't know what words to use sometimes. For my vest, I'm probably getting the tack vent for blunt force trauma. The tack vent helps with back base deformation. At the same time, it helps with ventilation, hence tack vent. It helps with BFD and cooling. And then obviously everybody who wears body armor, I'm sure, is aware of 221B Tactical with their add-ons for vests, the Max Dry that also helps with ventilation. I'm getting that for my vest, and I do want to get medical eventually. For my unarmed belt, I don't typically wear medical for when I do armed work. That can go into its own video because this video is probably going to run very long already. I tabbed over to OBS. I tabbed over to basically my software that I use. Sean's using StreamYard. I use OBS. I already looked at it. It's like 20 minutes. That's why I'm trying to kind of hurry it up here. I want to get med options, and my glove pouch is probably gonna be 09. For the hard belt, at the same time, I need leather. It's probably going to be Stallion, hence why it's linked here. And then for armor is armor. Medical options, Boo Boo is like band aids and whatnot, your basic everyday carry. Because I was trained when I was taking medical classes with the Civil Air Patrol and I was doing search and rescue at the Air Force as a civilian volunteer. I was told you should have a trauma kit and then basically a basic kit. And when I went to security, that was kind of hammered in when I was reading up on medical for security. It was, yes, you'll have your GSW, you will have your oh shit bleeding kit, and then you'll have your paper cut, you'll have your your less severe kit. So you'll have your severe kit, and then you'll have your, your everyday kit, your band-aids and what have you. Pepper gun. I want one in my arsenal, so to speak. I want one in my armory. My armor being my bedroom. Haha. I do want to get a pepper gun eventually, but at the same time, let me put it to you this way: the pepper guns out there on the market right now that you can holster, a lot of them have their issues. I am purchasing a Saber 68 less lethal um, long launcher. I'll word it like that because don't want to say rifle. It's a less lethal implement. I'm getting a Saber pepper ball long launcher soon. Now Saber does have handguns, but the issue with the pepper pistol is they don't have a holster for their handgun yet. So I'm like, do I go Berna, which I know has issues? Again, that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother video I can get into. But yeah, so that's the bottom of the Excel spreadsheet, Google sheet, whatever. But this is what I do when I'm, researching gear, guys. I basically come in here, I throw things into a spreadsheet, and I basically build belts on a spreadsheet. So yeah, that's my way of doing things for y'all. It's my way of organizing my brain. More or less, this was just me talking on equipment was kind of the takeaway here. It's good to organize your thoughts. At the same time, the point of this video is also it's good to have multiple belts because you don't want to sit here on our post be sitting here weird with the half holster like I was saying at the beginning, the QLS on the receiver or whatever. You don't want to be weird like that. So I'm getting separate belts, and yeah, that's all I have for y'all this video, at least. This is Mike here, Professional Security Journal. Y'all stay safe out there. Take it easy. Take pride in all you do in our profession. And other than that, see y'all soon. Bye.